Echo here, welcome back to Resonant Rise. I'm on the server on my own. Today, it seems, this is the damage that was done from the meteor. I'll show you this first. So this is what happened in the test world that I did as well. It destroyed 8 obsidian blocks. It looks like it's done exactly the same when I pulled that meteorite down in the last episode of the day. So that's good. If it's just going to do 8 obsidian damage each time, then I'm very happy with it. Now this still is a little bit ghetto. I'm going to tidy this up at some point, but I'm going to move on with something else for now. I'm not actually sure if mobs are going to spawn in here, but I'm going to tidy all the walls up. I'll leave that up there for now because it looks nicer than having the obsidian up there. And I'm sure that mobs can spawn in here, because why wouldn't they, you know? So that is a little bit, oh no, brilliant timing, Akko, love it. Harness, thresh jar, let's switch that out for that one. And put that back in there. There we go. That should disappear. That can go back, and that can go back. Wonderful. So yeah, so that's pretty sorted. So I'm going to use that for my resources for the time being. A combination of that and placing my digital mana around in different places. So that's what I'm going to be doing for my resources, which is pretty cool, I think. What I'm going to do today is a couple of things I want to do. I don't know if I'm going to get time for them. The first thing is I want to make sure that people can get blaze rods and stuff, so I've started working on my little mob farms. Now that was the whole point of having this random mob farm that spawns, that creates mob essence. Now what I want it to use it in is I want to use it in actual focus mob farms. So I've set up a couple of little areas down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on, first of all, putting the stuff into these. So what I've made is a couple of auto spawners. No, have I put the recipe thing onto this server? No, not yet. So let's do that real quick. Number pad 0, whaler. No, that's not how you do it. Options, controls, whaler. Show usage. Change that to U. Show recipe. I'll change that to R. That does have a conflict, but it's fine because it's. Now I'm pressing R when I'm pointing when I look at something. I'll show you the recipe. Wonderful. So auto spawners. I said that in a very cool accent then. Auto is that. Nice and easy. So I've got them there. So they're going there and there. I'll put dark glass across the walls here. That's dark glass up there as well. Not that it needs dark glass. These will spawn in light anyway, so it don't really matter. These will spawn in the open if you want them to. I just like dark glass. What this needs is power and mob essence, and it'll actually and we're safaring it with something in it. Power, yeah, and mob essence. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, and it will actually create the mobs that if we put in a grinder and kill the mobs with a grinder, we actually get some of the mob essence back, which is quite nice as well. So I want grinders there. You've seen grinders before, of course. That's just like that. So we have got the beginnings of a little system here. So what I've done down here, I have run. It's all very dark down here. I should light it up a bit. I've run cable, ME cable, and I've run universal cable down this far out to now. And what I'm going to do is, I think, I'm going to run universal cable into the bottom of that. So that needs universal cable, but it also needs mob essence putting in there. So run that along. I actually worked out exactly how I'm going to connect these up yet, to be honest. I might have to cut camera and work things out. That wants to go there, and then, as you can see, the grinder's there. Now the grinder, I need access to 3 sides of it. I need power in, I need items out, and I need mob essence out. So I think I have to use some covers here, which means marble. This marble's not the best stuff because it doesn't connect when it's covered. I think the best way of doing that is going to be like that. Oh, this is going to be tricky. I'm actually going to want that open, I think. Right, I'll tell you what, this is just going to be a bit of me working out how to wire stuff. So I will be back in a bit when I've wired this. I might change this marble brick out for something that doesn't have connected textures as well. I'll be back in a little bit. Just all I'm doing basically is, well, in fact, what I need to make is I need items out of these things, so I need precision export buses. No, I don't. No, I don't. It's a lie. I need ME interfaces. So I'm going to need an ME interface and a liquid ME interface on each of the grinders. We need a fluid export bus on the spawner. Yeah, so it's interfaces. I've not used a liquid interface yet in the real world. Oops, clearly not called that either. Interface. That guy there works just like a normal ME interface, but for liquids. So that will take us the liquid out of there. Right, I need to test a couple of things, make sure that's what we need to do this. Back in a bit. Okay then, I'm back. I made a few bits. I have made ME interfaces, ME fluid interfaces. Now I'll check these in single player world. The interface works better on the items. The fluid actually works with either a fluid bus or an interface. So I'm going to go with the interface because I like the look of it. So what I'll do is I'm going to put an interface on one side and a fluid interface on the other. So that's going to drain out the items and the fluid out of this, which is good. See, that's because that's got an internal tank. A bus was fine for that, yeah. But because it does have an internal inventory, then that you need an interface. I'm pretty sure you actually need an interface for that. So that's one bit of it done. Now, the next bit, it gets a little trickier, is actually going to want. I'm going to change this floor to iron blocks, I think, so I can use iron facades. But what I need is a fluid export bus. I'm going to want that set to the auto spawner. Cool. And what I want on this is I also want a level emitter. I'm going to have that fastened to the side there, so we need a cable to connect that. So this is all going to be covered. These three blocks are going to be covered with facades. That's weird. That is connected, I think. It just doesn't look like it is. Why are you looking like that weird thing? So what that's going to do is going to put mob essence in there. And what this is going to do is we're going to go to a level on whatever mob we've got in here. So say if we've got blazes, I want to say 1,000 blaze rods, or maybe 8,000 blaze rods. Don't know. Let's keep it going until we've got the amount. And then when we've got the right amount, it'll turn itself off. So that's what we are planning on. So that bit's all alright. I've changed the glass for this thickened glass for next to utilities. So I quite like the look of that as well. It's like the darkened glass, but not dark, which kind of makes sense, I suppose. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to run my cable that way. It's always something in the way, isn't there? What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go behind there. And I'm making all this tidy, not that I need to, but just making it all tidy with the one of equal trade, just because I like. Oops, that's not what I want to do at all. Marble, please. Now, one of the problems I had was this is a bit slow to make, and that's part of why I want to change something around. Now, I do like the mechanism logistical sorter a real lot. It's really cool, but it's a little bit slow. Which, if you factor that into your build, that's actually not a big problem. But I like it to be a little bit quicker. So that one should all be wired up. Yeah, that one should be good to go. So what I need now is to learn how to fly properly. There we go. And I'm going to jump up here, and in I think this chest, yeah, in this chest I've got three things. I've got blaze, I've got skeleton, that's actually with the skeletons, so we need one of them, and enderman. What I'm going to end up with along here is probably 5 of these. I might make one a little bit deeper as well and have ghasts. 1, 2, we'll fit 4 down that side. I might end up with 4 down this side as well, which means moving things around a bit. But what I can do is ender pearls. Let's go for 1024. So in here, I'm going to set this to redstone signal when there's 1024 or more endermen in this. That's not. I don't know what we want to export yet, so I need to get a bucket of mob essence. So that means that's safe to put in there. Now, spawn exact copy, yes, mean it'd only come out 1 hit point, but it'd also mean that it'd cost more mob essence, and I think would get less mob essence back from the grinder. So we actually want it to not spawn exact. We just want it to spawn general Enderman, so that's all good. I'll come back in and cover that up and change the floor in a bit, which means I need somewhere to turn that off manually. Let me just change the floor. I'll be back in just a sec. Okay, then back again, and I've made the floor into iron. Unfortunately, extra cells does not accept facades, which is a bit of a bummer, but because I can't actually cover that one up. I can cover that up, I can cover that up. If I'm really bothered, I could cover the side of that, and I could cover underneath that because that's a normal ME cable, but I cannot cover that up, which is a bit of a shame. Never mind. You can still access the level emitter through a facade as well, which is good to know. So that's set 1024 ender pearl, and all we need to do now is tell this guy that we want to export buckets of mob essence in there. Oh, and there we go, we have got Enderman spawning. Wonderful. So let's shoot them in there. Once the idle goes, once we've got power, I ran out of universal cable. Let's have another 30 of them. Thank you, 32 is good. So look how many spawned in there already, Christ. So I've done the floor in here as well. I've started wiring up from the back. I've just run out of a universal cable, as you can see. So if we connect that to there, that should start getting power. And you can hear it killing all them Endermen. Lovely. So we're using our mob essence from the other farm to actually focus. Where have they got that grass from? Weird, isn't it? So what we should be seeing up here is our ender pearls going up. Cool. That's working. 40. Come on, give me another one. 41, cool. So that's going up. So that'll keep spawning until there's 1024 ender pearls in my ME network. Then it'll stop, which is very nice. Now what's also going to be happening here is the mob essence is going to start going down. And it actually hasn't gone down yet. So what it's doing is, it is actually, I'm guessing, it's emptying that. It'll be emptying that, and there's also, of course, a buffer in the actual grinder there. That'll be full of mob essence as well. So there's a little bit of a buffer before it even gets into the mob essence. What I am going to have to do is, so that's going to catch up. They spawn quick, don't they? Christ. So that's that one done. So now if we go down, we can set this one up. So this one has got, I haven't put it in yet. Oops. Didn't want to do that. Break that. This one wants 1024 blaze rods. And I can put the mob essence in there and tell it to feed it. So that's good. That's going to start filling with mob essence. But it's got no safari net in yet. So what I need to do is make sure everything's all right down here. That's all good. All I need to do then is connect that to power. So now that other one's caught up, as you can hear. So, sucks so much at flying. That goes there. That goes there, and someone's just turning the overrun downstairs. I've got it too loud on the video. So in that one goes, and I just want to turn it round. So that's all ready to go. That's all connected. I want a marble block above that. Oh, it's noisy, isn't it? I might have to put a sound muffler in there. I think I'll put a sound muffler in them as well. And I want my blaze. Wonderful. So I want my glass so I can fasten this before I get bent. So blaze net goes in there. That's starting up. There we go. We've got blazes rocking in that one. So that should be going too. Cool. They're dying as well. So this is going to use mob essence up pretty quick, I suspect. Or maybe not. So it is of course getting some back. Each time that grinder kills a mob, it's getting some mob essence. But it takes double to spawn than it does to get back, so I'm only losing half a mob's worth of essence because I'm using grinders. But I'm going to want that turned on, so This is still just set like this, which is unfinished still. I will finish that at some point. What I want is, I want that to trigger when it knows there's room in the ender tank in there. So that'll just turn itself on and off as needed, which should be good. So there we go. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple of sound mufflers and sneak them in down there just so it's not as loud in here, because that's going to be a pain in the ass. And next, what we're going to look at is changing this. This is a wonderful setup, don't get me wrong, I like it a lot, but we're going to change it and use Steve's Factory Manager, because Steve's Factory Manager is awesome. So I'm going to set up a little simple setup for Steve's Factory Manager for your processing. So we'll see how that goes. Back in a bit. Okay, that noise is getting really intense. I've just dropped a sound muffler from Extra Utilities just down underneath the grinder there, so it's nice and out of the way. When I came down here, I dug my way in through the middle bit here, and there was actually blazes down in this bit, so it looks like I need to fill this in after all, not have this walkway behind it. So I'm going to leave it like that for now, because I want to be spreading this way as well for 2 more spawners down here. So I'll leave that as it is. So that's all going very well and nice and quiet now, which is very good. We'll have that. So up I go, and come up here. I made 2 of these things so you can see where we're at. You can see we're already, it's only been about 10 minutes. I went in there, took my nephew to the car, come back in, and I was actually stood here. It was night, and the skeleton stood there, and I must have had about 60 arrows in me. It was pretty fun. Anyway, so you see that's going up quite rapidly, so is that. So they'll soon be at 1024. Now the reason why I need to sort this out is, if I make another monitor just to make that look even. Monitor. There we go. So I'm going to make another one of them. So what this needs to make a monitor is, it needs a processor, it needs silicon. If you see, look, it's sending a Certus quartz dust to be made into a silicon, which will then come back. Then it'll make a processor, which will send round to get smelted again and come back. So it actually takes ages to make anything, which is part of why I want to change it. I made a couple of other things as well. I made a couple of conversion matrices. Now these things, if I shift right click on them, see the little pattern change, got little white dots there. I can now take things in and out of there with that. I also need to shift right click with a wrench to lock it. That one's locked. That one's locked. So what I can do now is, if I click on that, I can actually is it right click? There we go. If I right click on that, I can actually take a stack out, which is quite nice. Oops, I can put stuff in as well. No. Maybe you can, but I don't know how I'm doing it. But I'll put all that in there. Tidy as we go. So I can take blade rods out. Anyone else on the server can take blade rods out of there. So what's happening here now? What we're making now? Oh, it's done it already. I was actually quicker than I expected it to. So we've got another monitor there. And of course I've got this little green, one bit of green cable, just to make these look nice. So I get a bit bored of it all being the same colour all the time, so we'll change that purple one by sticking that to the side, making it green. Put that back in there for later. So next up then is, I want to make a Steve's Factory Manager. So there's 2 parts to Steve's Factory Manager. At the minute, if you watch these videos, there's quite a few more now. Okay, so I need to find out what they're called. At Steve F. There we go. So there's a machine inventory manager and an inventory cable. So if I search for inventory, I want one of them, and I'll craft one of them. It'll give me 8, I think. So yeah, I've got 8 of them, and we're missing something for that. It does not know how to craft a block of redstone. Interesting. Add that in there, encode, put that onto the vanilla page, which we're on. Cool. And now it's done. Sweet, there we go. So what you do with this is, if you haven't seen any videos on this at all, this was a mod jam mod by VSWE, who makes Steve's carts. What you can do is you can set up loads of things in this, and basically they can interact with anything that this cable's touching. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this up over there. So I'll get it all kind of roughly set up. It means pulling all this out. I'll get it kind of roughly set up, and then we'll set the digital miner going. We'll send some things through it and see how it goes. So I need to break again while I sort that out. But we've done the first part of the video. We've got mobs spawning. When you come back, they should have stopped at 1024. We'll see. And this cable will be laid under here. These machines will be touching each other again. and all this cable and the logistical sorter will have gone. We're back in a bit. Here we are then, and I've got 1024 and I've got 1026, so that must have turned off when there was already a couple of blazes in there. We dropped a couple more, which is all good. So they're going to sit there, and anyone on the server, if you watch this video and you need any of these, all you got to do is come right click, it'll drop you a stack. Let's take as many as you want, and it'll kick back in and start up again. So they'll go back in, and there might be a couple more coming, because that should have turned this back on. No, I maybe got them back in before it actually kicked in. So there's that bit sorted and finished with for now. The next one there'll probably be ghast tiers. So my next one along, I'm going to have to make it 1 deeper because you need a 4 height for ghasts. These are only 3 height, the next one will be 1 lower. I've probably done the end one over there 1 lower. These chests are only moving at some point. I've moved things around here. I connected these, by the way, to the A network. So I've got 32,000 of them 5, 4,000 obsidian, and I'm putting these zinc or bauxite or manganese ore because I'm not really processing these at the minute because I've got really no need to at the minute, so I'm just leaving them there for now. Once it gets to 64 stacks, any more than that gets put into the scrap automatically. So they're going in there. The rest of the stuff I don't really get a great deal of. So what I need to do now then is we've moved these across here. So this is the factory manager itself, the inventory manager. This is what's got the screen. And running under here is the inventory cable. These machines are all back next to each other. There's the oxygen feed into the purifier, so that's getting its oxygen. I've changed these settings, so I've just done them back to, this one is a top input and right output, these two are left to right, and this one is left to right as well. It doesn't actually matter that much because this doesn't have to connect to the right. It can still put things back into the system even though it says it's output into the right. It doesn't matter because this is clever enough to sort this out. What I'll be doing, I'll be adding all the other machines. I'll be spreading this cable around so the cable goes all the way around, and I can just add more machines onto it, and they'll be able to access this same manager. Now this might get real busy, but we'll see how it goes. At the minute, my input chest is there. And I need to get my digital man and man in a few bits, just so I've got some stuff to process. So what else? The other thing I've done is I've upped my little power thing up to the top level one, so it's now the ultimate one, so that'll be able to last a lot longer. And I'm just going to randomly throw this somewhere. Now, something I want to mention as well, I'm not sure, it didn't seem to be taking enough mob essence for me, so I'm not sure if there might be an issue with the way I've got this wired up that I'm actually duping liquid. I don't know. It seemed not to be taking enough. Maybe just a feeling. I don't know. But be aware that the liquid thing there might need a bit of testing. So if anyone wants to test it, and let me know if you find anything weird. That'd be cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some cobble to replace the hole. Not that replacing the holes doesn't really matter, does it? I'll leave it. So I'm going to not put stuff on the top, I'm not going to replace stuff with that, I'm just going to put my ender chest on the back here, and I'm going to put, bit of an itchy nose, yeah, put a power in there. I'm going to reset, eject on, yes, pull off, and put silicon. So pull is the one that makes it replace stuff with that, so we'll leave that off. In the config, or dictionary, so all ores, yeah, I want my Thaumcraft ores, yep, and that's all I want. I don't want obsidian in there anymore. I'm actually going to put marble in there as well. Nah, screw it, I'll get marble later if I need some more. I'm going to go to a radius back of 32, with a minimum of 1, and a max. So if I go above this, I want to replace holes. So I'm actually only going to go to this level, 71. Max 71. Then anything, got 70. Radius 32, minimum 1, max 70. That's all good. And we'll start this guy up. And he's going to be mining 12,000 items. Cool. So that's going to start putting stuff in here. This is going to fill up pretty quick, so I just want to let this fill up so it's got some stuff in it, and then I'm going to turn it off. I could actually just do with getting a bit of iron at the minute, but I don't want to change all my settings in that. It's not that big a deal really, but I'll keep a little eye on this while we're doing that. We can start doing this. So basically what we want is, we start off by creating a trigger. Now the trigger is just going to be, it's already started badly, haven't I? I can't actually reach the damn thing. Oh, son of a bitch. Get over there, you. There we go. I'm just going to do it so it triggers every 1 second. That's going to be fine for now. I may speed that up some point if it needs it, but that's just going to automatically, it's like a redstone pulse every second. That's going to trigger this, what I set. On an interval, that's fine. It can redstone control, but don't worry about that in a minute. I'm not really going to do this very tutorially. I'm just going to chuck a few things together. We're going to have flow control underneath that, because we're going to have 2 outputs here. How are we? No, I'll trash that. I might come back to that later. I'll keep it real simple for now. Create input. That's going to come over here. That's going to connect to that. And this is where we put our stuff in. So it's telling me there's nothing set. What we're going to set is our input is going to be our ender chest that's connected up, which is there. I'm going to click on that. Target, don't matter which one it is, so I'm just going to go down because it don't matter what side you pull up with an ender chest. And items, at the minute I'm just going to whitelist. So what I'm going to whitelist with is, at the minute, just iron ore. So if you type in what you want there, click on it, it adds that to the whitelist. So that's saying that the input into this little system is from this chest. Oh, let's turn that off. So damn quick. And stop. Thank you. So the input into this, basically all that's saying is the input into this little system is from this chest, and the thing that it's allowed to pull is iron ore, which we've got 36 of. Yep. Iron ore, yeah. So basically everything that's an ore is going to get added to this, and you can have more and more stuff to this, so you can add as many things as you want. So all the things that are going to go into the purifier here are going to get added to that condition. So as I build it up, I'll just build up more and more items onto that, and they'll all go in there when they can. Connections you don't have to worry about, so we can leave that alone. And then we can minimize that, and then we're going to want an output. So this is basically going to tell what to do. So the first one is inputting it into this cable, and the next one is where it's going to output it to. So where we want to output it to is a purifying machine. So I'm not going to connect this yet because I don't want to fire it off just yet. But inventory, and we can see there, 1 block away, 2 block away. So we need to make sure it's the right one. So 1 block away, 2 block away. So it's one at 708, 71, 2367. So that one's 2369. So it's 2367 is the coordinates what we want. So inventory. So it's that one, 2367. So we'll click on that. So that sets this input is to go to that output. Our target, we're going to go in from the top because that's where we're told it to accept stuff from, yeah? So this is accepting stuff into the top. So even though it's not touching the top, we can tell it to put stuff in from the top, which is really nice. And then items, I'm going to put blacklist so that anything that we send from that can go into here. So we don't have to worry about having to set all the whitelist in there as well. So there we go. So now, if I connect that up, what you're going to see is that's fired up, and it's processing the ore, and it's sending it along to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. Wonderful. So we could set this to spread them out. Let's do that. We'll leave them off for now. We'll come back to that later. So now the stuff's stuck in here. So what we need to do is we need to add another bit. So I did actually need this flow control. I'm going to grab one of them again, and I'm going to move this down over there a bit, and move this one down. And what I'm going to do is now have another input and another output next to them. So now the input to the system, and the flow control is going to go between them, and I need to change that flow control to a split. So I want 1 in, 2 out. So if we close that, you can see now that's 1 in, 2 out. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to break that connection. I'll connect that to there. Oops, I'll connect that to there instead. Okay, connect that to that one. Cool. So what we want now is input into the cable. So I always think of input as input into your cable. So input into the cable is going to be from the one that's 2 blocks away at 2370. So input is from the factory at the end, the smelter, 2370. This one, looking at my map, you see I'm at 2370. So we're saying that's our input. And we are going to go south. Because remember, this was set to south. I'm not sure that 100% matters, but we're going to go south because that's where we're told that it's going to be put into. So we'll go south, activate, items, blacklist. I'm going to let anything come out of there. Anything at all. Wonderful. And next we need to set the output. So the output now is going to be into the ME network. And what I've got under here is connected to the same inventory cable there. We have got a ME interface touching it. Wonderful. So this is the same ME interface that all these patterns, and these are actually working at the minute. So I need to work out how to get them back in. I think I'm going to run them through a separate machine than my basic ore processing. But we can add that by pretty much what I'm probably going to do is move the sag mill and the alloy smelter. So they're the next in the line, and they can do the smelting of stuff for recipes for that. So I might even get that added in this episode. See how long the episode is. But what I want to do is for the output, again, inventory, ME interface. There's only one ME interface on this. You can see that as this line gets bigger, you could have so many different inventories you could put into. So ME interface is our output. Target, it doesn't really matter, so if it doesn't matter, just go down. And then items, blacklist, that'll let anything in there. So what should happen is, when we connect that, bosh, they should go. Look, and they're going. And they're going into there. So iron ore, iron ingots I mean. 48, 49. So as you can see, coming in nice and quick. So that is how easy it is. We've set up automated processing. Now it's only automated processing for iron at the minute. So what I need to do is decide where each of these things is going to go, and then then process it. What I'm going to want is I'm going to want the block smasher in there to fortune break stuff. I'm going to want the sag mill and the alloy smelter in there. I'm going to make a factory version of these two guys as well, just so I've got them. And then we'll have all the thermal expansion stuff will be along this side, I guess. So I'm going to build up a factory, and this cable can do it all, as long as I've got room in this thing. So I might, once I've got a thing set up exactly how I want it, and I don't need to get in the windows, so I've got plenty of space, I could compress this quite a bit, and have this right down the edge here, and then gradually build up more and more of these across there until this is full, and then start a second one if this gets full. So what I'll do is I'll cut camera, I'll put all this stuff in, but I won't actually connect it, and then I'll come back and we'll see how quick it all processes. Back in a bit. Okay then, I think I've got this right. We'll see how it goes. What I've done is, I've rather than using the flow control, I've created separate ones to keep it a bit easier. So basically this one is to send things that want to go into the purifying. So the inputs into there that want to go into purifying, all the ores, so they'll go in there. And that's the output that goes with them. So that's the output that comes from the end of the train, comes out of the bottom of the smelter there, or the side of the smelter. So that's the output for the smelter. So you see there, the input target is the smelter, and the output goes to the ME interface there. So that puts stuff into the ME network. Makes sense yet? And this one is stuff that wants to go into the enriching chamber. So basically redstone, lapis and sulfur and saltpeter. These two aren't working, so I'm not sure what the issue is there. I think that's railcraft, saltpeter and sulfur. So if I put in sulfur in here, I'll put it in again, look. If I put in sulfur, I get the railcraft one. That's it. But what I actually get in my system is the metallurgy one, and the same with saltpeter. So sulfur and saltpeter are not going in because of metallurgy. So I'm going to have to send them straight through. So I'm actually going to items. I'm going to delete them. So if I right click on it, I can delete. If I right click on that, I can delete. So they're gone. So basically, into the enrichment chamber is just redstone and lapis, and then out of the chamber there. So they come in and out of the enrichment chamber. So that's set to the enrichment chamber on the input, and again the output is set to the ME interface, so into the ME network. Then this one is things that want to go straight into the smelter. So the inventory here is pulling out of the ender chest, of course, and it's putting things into the smelter. So they're going to the smelter as well. And because the smelter's already got an output from the things that come in through this way, then I've not had to set a separate output on, because they get outputted automatically. And then finally, this one here, this is a little bit different. The input here is still the ender chest, and what I've done on the output is, you can't really see it, so let's move it up here a second. What I've done on the output is I've sent it straight to the ME interface from the ender chest, and what I've done is I've blacklisted. What the hell's going on there? Oops. Not on there, of course. Silly me. On there, I've blacklisted all the things that go into either the smelter, the enriching chamber, or the purifying chamber. So you can see there, I've created a blacklist that won't let me take the things out that need to go into the other ones. So all the things that need to go into one of these machines are not allowed to go straight into the ME network. Make sense? So that's empty. It emptied while I was doing it. Hello, guy. Pew. Thank you. So if we turn this on now, we'll see how quick it is. So we'll start this up again. You see that's hardly any power there. I've got that much power in this thing, it's awesome. So if we come down here now, things should be happening, and they are. And at some point, we're going to start getting backed up in this, I'm sure. But for now, it seems to be going kind of alright. So you should see things coming into here. Coal, infused stone, stuff like that. But check that out. That's keeping up far better than it did before, isn't it? So things are going in, which is very good. So there we have a fully automated for what we've got the digital miner pulling. Of course, if I started pulling things more that needed to go into these, then I'd have to add them as well. And there is some stuff that's just going straight through, like I said. So, like for example, the Eulorium's going straight through because if I process Eulorium, I actually want to process it in a SAG mill, because in the enrichment chamber you get 2. In a SAG mill you get 2. Then you get a small chance of cyanide dust. So if it's a little bit bonus, you might as well put it through there rather than not, if you know what I mean. So there's a few things going here at the minute. Some of this stuff, of course, gets put into here, so this will be working away as well. So that's doing its business. So that is a very nice little quick automated system that's keeping on top of stuff. So I'm fairly confident I could actually leave that running. What I'm going to do is I'm going to encode this video. I'm going to stand here and watch this, just see how it goes, see if it keeps keeping up, or see if it will eventually get to a point where there's too much stuff going through. It looks like it's handling it very well, doesn't it? Of course, all the stuff that comes straight into the ME network can sit in here for a while until it's needed to get sorted. This stuff that the mob farms are dropping, I'm just chucking out the way down here for now. Got rid of my trapdoor. I keep trying to open it. I had a trapdoor there, didn't I? I've got rid of it. I keep forgetting. I'm saying a lot again as well. I apologise. I know it winds people up. I do not do it on purpose. So I'm getting quite a few trophies in there. I have to put them somewhere nice at some point. Enderman heads can go in there. 62 Enderman heads. So there we go. We've got a few things done. We have got a couple of spawners done. I'm going to do a couple more off camera. Like I said, gassed one needs to be 1 block lower. I'll do a wither skeleton one, and that's probably the 4 I'm going to handle. Again, Christ. But yeah, that's that. And I nearly said it again. What's he doing there? Just looking in there. Look. What are you doing, geezer? I'm going to add to this network with all the thermal expansion machines, the Ender IO machines, and possibly the machines if I need them. But for now, I'm going to say thank you as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little delve into a very simple Steve's Cart system, Steve's Factory Manager system, should I say. And I've tried to keep it really easy to follow there. As you can see, it's handling that like a trooper, and much better than the mechanism thing was, which is very good but just slow. And this of course could be handled straight by applying logistics, but because an input and export bus have only got 8 slots, you're kind of limited. With this you can add as many as you want. So if I want more and more items into there, I've got as many as I want. No, not as many as I want, but enough. Certainly enough that you could handle everything. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope it was entertaining, and I hope I see you next time. Cheers. Bye.